the plan. Jah will bless it with his hand. So my boo, if you cannot come, and next man go do your work. I ain't going home no way. So pempelele, pempelele. Parfait-moi côtoyer, cause I have an appetite. Too fat, I have an appetite. I ain't going home, not yet. I'm the queen of fat. I have an appetite. Too fat, I have an appetite. Don't kill me appetite, not yet. Look at soaking wet. You're part of my recipe, my taste buds are yearning for your wine. Serve me from behind. I just love it when you say, ay, 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 ay. A little louder say, ay, 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 ay. Hey, barman, pour me a wine, a sweet wine, a red wine. Fassa, fassa. Hey, 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 hey. Big power cut, blackout, no electricity. And it's no you mention home to climax me appetite. You tell me you tired, weary or you sleepy. If so, I go in for Connie to collect me Stepney. Brace yourself, honey. In case of emergency, don't hesitate to call. If I pump in this Stepney, soon I will come. So darling, if you want to practice, the alphabet's on my list. Soon I go make you ball. Pempelele, pempelele. Somebody call 911 for me, not he, cause I have an appetite. Too fat, I have an appetite. I ain't going home, not yet. I'm the queen of fat. I have an appetite. Too fat, I have an appetite. Don't kill me appetite, not yet. Look at soaking wet. You're part of my recipe, my taste buds are yearning for your wine. Serve me from behind. I just love it when you say.
Time check, it's time for me to say hi and of course bye to you back in the studios right here as we get set for the evening news right now on your nation station DBS Radio.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the 10 finalists for the DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition will be announced tomorrow. The semi-final round ended this afternoon. In the news from the region, Kamla Persad Bisesa sworn in as the 9th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Internationally, a United States judge blocks the use of Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelans. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
Too often, customers are counted but not valued, like mere numbers, statistics, transactions. But at Flow, we're prioritizing you, our valued customers who have been with us through every milestone, every moment. That's why we're putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers claim up to $400 in rewards for smartphones, groceries, and more when you add mobile to your current internet plan. Because loyalty isn't a one-way street. At Flow, loyalty flows both ways.
DBS News.
And welcome back. First off, the 10 finalists for the DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Competition will be announced tomorrow morning as the semi-final round ended this afternoon. Pioneer Preparatory student Sani Laville was the top student. Destiny Lewis of Temple SDA came second with 396 points, while Arion Carbon of Wesley Primary School finished third with 372 points. 10 schools competed in this afternoon's round of the competition.
Coming in at number 10 with 250 points from the Tebow Primary School, DeAndre Holder. 9th with 281 points from the Massac Primary School, Amali St. Rose. 8th with 324 points, Michael Gregoire from the Soufriere Primary. With 325 points from the Mont Prospect Primary School, Aliyah Paquette. With 335 points from the Warner Primary School, Kaylee Bertrand. with 355 points. From the Penville Primary School, Chloe Robert. Coming in at number 4, Shaska Frederick from the Salbia Primary School, 357 points. At number 3, with 372 points, we have Ariane Cabon from the Wesley Primary School. In second position today with 396 points from the Temple SDA, Destiny Lewis. And topping our final semi-final round with 401 points, Sunny Laville from the Pioneer Preparatory School.
Tune in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to find out which top 10 students advance to the final round. Still in the national focus, Catholic priest Father Branca John has called for an end to the partisan politics within the village councils in Dominica. His call came during a church service to officially start off Local Government Month, being observed under the theme Building Strong Partnerships for Sustained Community Resilience.
It's a serious problem in our local government system, and it has to be rooted out. The union of partisan politics and council affairs, that too is like a cancer eating our system. We know our country. We are small. We all know each other. We all support our political parties in different ways. And that's all right. That's great. That's wonderful. But a council, a local authority, should not be a source of division in the community. It should not be. And so if the council is dividing, it is shooting itself in the foot. A council should not be seen as a legal instrument of a political party. It should not be. As practitioners, we must not allow that to happen. I remember the days of not too long ago, men and women who were staunch supporters of their political parties. We know them. And they were also councillors. But they did not allow their support for their party to darken their community work. They separated the two. And they did it very well. When it came to council's business, they stuck to council's business. They did not allow partisan politics to mess that up. Those two did not mix. It takes a certain sense of maturity to keep the two separate. Our support for our party and council's business. We cannot mix the two. Because if we mix the two, then the council becomes another partisan political organization. And that does not help the community. People will not want to participate if that happens.
Father John says persons contesting village council elections should have one goal in mind.
If you have entered the local government family as a councillor, a council chairperson, a volunteer, for your own selfish interests, you are in the wrong place. This is not for you. Local government work is sacrificial. The common good, my friends, the common good, not our selfish interests. Long ago, people volunteered to serve on the council. They volunteered. And councillors got a stipend. And some of them would even forget the stipend in the council office. Or some would leave the stipend with the council as a means of fundraising. Many councillors did that, and maybe some of you still do. But sadly, too many councillors today do not come to meetings, do not participate in the community's activities, but as soon as the month ends, they're harassing the clerk for their money. That is not right. So if you are guilty of that, stop it. Leave the money there. You did not become a counselor for the money. You became a counselor to serve the community, not to make money. You are not a counselor for the stipend. No. That is, to say thank you in a tangible way, to recognize the fact that you're a counselor, yes. But that is not why you are a counselor. So if this is your struggle, take this to the Lord through the intercession of Joseph. Don't be looking out for the money more than you look out for service.
Catholic priest Father Branca John. The Youth Development Division is seeking to expand its program outreach in an effort to empower more youth on island. Chief Youth Development Officer Marita Hyacinth says a number of new initiatives have been developed to provide young Dominicans with tangible skills and mentorship.
This year only we have really started a series of short courses, and we trained over 78 young people in computer literacy, small electronic repair, sewing, graphic design using Canva and Photoshop, QuickBooks, and accounting. And these programs were not just about only technical know-how, they were also integrated with social skills development, teaching communication, teamwork, mental health awareness, and workplace readiness. We expanded opportunities across communities, reaching young people as far as Casibros, Grand Bay, Layo, Sensi, and in Roseau. And importantly, this year, we listened to our young people through our National Youth Survey. We heard their needs, their dreams, and their ambitions, and it's their voices that guided the design for our ambitious 2025-2026 fiscal year training plan, which will align youth skills development with Dominica major national projects from the international airport to port expansion and the geothermal energy sector. And to foster even stronger engagement, we launched our monthly newsletter, an exciting new platform that celebrates youth achievements, shares information on trainings, employment opportunities, and reminds our young Dominicans that they are not alone in their journey for growth.
Hyacinth also highlighted some of the training opportunities which are in the works for the youth of Dominica.
We are looking to expand access to our training programs in technical trades, IT, renewable energy, hospitality, agriculture, and digital entrepreneurship, information technology, and AI computing. We also want to continue investing in the community-based learning so that our youth from every corner of Dominica can access opportunities, especially through the development of our community forages. Then we want to continue that partnership we want to have with the private sector, building partnerships with the private sector and government agencies to bridge training directly to employment. Then we champion digital transformation, ensuring our youth are not just job seekers, but job creators in this new economy. And we want to do this holistically through our Dominica Youth Business Trust program.
Chief Youth Development Officer Marita Hyacinth. And the co-chairman of the 2025 Jubilee Committee, Davis Later, says the Diocese of Roseau's 175th anniversary Jubilee Triennium provides a vital opportunity for the Catholic Church to grow and thrive. He encourages the public to take part in the upcoming events such as the Clergy Walk scheduled for Monday, May 5th, which will begin in the Syndicate area and conclude in Collio.
The church is alive in the Diocese of Roseau. From the activities that we've had so far, I think we can see in all parishes we've really had a very remarkable Easter celebration, Holy Week meant Easter celebration this year, and we're just hoping that this kind of momentum can continue because the Jubilee provides us an opportunity to grow. We are well into the second quarter of 2025, but I just want to highlight some further activities during May and June. Next week, Monday the 5th, annually the clergy in Dominica is engaged in a clergy walk with the faithful parishioners from all over join the clergy to walk. And this year the walk is going to be from Syndicate to the pilgrimage site in Collio. So we are hoping that, like other years, the faithful will join their clergy and walk together. It is also an opportunity for the Diocesan Association of Clergy to raise funds. So we are hoping that persons will register, collect their sponsorships, and try to solicit sponsors for the local clergy association.
Co-chairman of the 2025 Jubilee Committee, Davis Later. The stage is set for the 2025 Jazz and Creole Festival being held at the Cabrits National Park on Sunday, May 4th. Festivals and Events Manager at Discover Dominica Authority, Ayodele Andrew, says patrons to the festival are guaranteed a good experience with the mix of local and foreign artists down to perform. The Jazz and Creole Festival begins at 2 p.m. on Sunday.
We look forward to welcoming each of you. Our artists, I'll just go through our artist lineup. In case you need a reminder, our lineup this year, we have Shalina, who is known for captivating vocals and dynamic stage presence. Abia Israel, who's a soulful performer. Mary Pascal, who brings that blend of Dominican and African music together. Carly XP, the Bouillon Queen, who will give us a taste of her Bouillon jazz. Colton T, who is a dynamic musician and performer. Etienne Charles, an internationally acclaimed trumpeter and composer, known for his innovative blend of jazz, Caribbean music, and folk traditions. Of course, Etana, who is bringing her powerful reggae vibes to the stage. Signal Band, who is our electrifying young and energetic bouillon band, and Marie-Claire Giroux, who I expect that on Sunday evening she will take you on a journey.
Festival and Events Manager at Discover Dominica Authority, Ayodele Andrew. Meantime, Senior Environmental Health Officer Kalma Louise says measures have been taken to ensure food safety at the Jazz and Creole Festival.
In preparation for this year's event, the Environmental Health Department had taken some proactive steps to include a joint visit with the event organizers to Fort Shirley to ensure that everything is okay, there is enough water, the toilets are working properly, etc., etc. A targeted session with food handlers, a targeted session with food and beverage managers to outline health key protocols. We want to ensure that everybody is on par with the event and that they will do the necessary things. So we had an event session with all the organizers to guide them through the process. And of course, we had food handlers education sessions that were held in Portsmouth and Roseau to allow the uncertified vendors to become compliant and prepared to serve food safely. We would like to take the opportunity to encourage all vendors, especially those who did not fully comply last year, to rise to the standard this year. Clean presentation, safe storage, and a full compliance are not just regulations. They are essential to the health and enjoyment of every festival goer.
Senior Environmental Health Officer with responsibility for food safety, Kalma Louise. The administering of vaccinations for babies 2 months to 4 months in Dominica will see a change effective June 2025. This change will see the babies receiving 1 shot rather than the 2, which is currently being given. Senior Public Health Nurse for Region 2 of the Primary Healthcare Unit, Yvonne Anatole Carbon, spoke of the new changes on the DBS radio's Talking Point.
In June of this year, we hope to introduce a new vaccine. It is not really a new vaccine per se, but one of the things that we observe and parents complained about is the fact that especially at 2 and 4 months, when the children come, they have to get 2 pricks, which is the pentavalent and the inactivated polio. So a lot of times parents would get emotional because their children are crying, they get 2 pricks, and they would say, can't you all combine the vaccine into one? So, it can be less painful for the child and all of that. So what we have done in going to meetings, you go to workshops, so you make the various recommendations that you get from your staff. And thankfully, we were listened to, and we have what is called the hexavalent vaccine. So this is now a combination of the pentavalent and the IPV. So instead of the child now getting 2 pricks, they get only 1. So we still have some pentavalent in stock. So we want to use up the pentavalent that we now have in stock, and then on the completion of it, then we start off with the hexavalent.
And that was a Senior Public Health Nurse for the Region 2 of the Primary Healthcare Unit, Yvonne Anatole Carbon. Taking us to the end of this afternoon's National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
Too often, customers are counted but not valued, like mere numbers, statistics, transactions. But at Flow, we're prioritizing you, our valued customers who have been with us through every milestone, every moment. That's why we're putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers claim up to $400 in rewards for smartphones, groceries, and more when you add mobile to your current internet plan. Because loyalty isn't a one-way street. At Flow, loyalty flows both ways.
DBS News.
And welcome back. Now news from the region. Kamla Persad Bissessa has been sworn in as the 9th Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. The swearing-in ceremony was held at the President's house in Trinidad this afternoon. Mrs. Persad Bissessa led the United National Congress to victory on April 28, 2025 general elections, securing 26 seats.
This evening, we stand as a nation. We stand together as a nation at the beginning of a new 5-year government term. A 5-year term where the real people of TNT will be put at the forefront. I say thank you to God and to our citizens of our beloved country. The campaign is over. You know our message of love, care, and happiness. I thank you again for believing our message. I thank you with all my heart. My role as your newly elected Prime Minister is simple. It's to love you and do everything possible to make you and your loved ones happy. For too long, we have carried a heavy burden of a government that seems to have forgotten you. It is time we rise to the occasion and let citizens take their rightful places side by side with their new government. It is said, to whom much is given, much is expected. We as a nation and a people have been blessed with much. Admittedly, we have also wasted much, unfortunately. It is time we set TNT on a right pathway, where we cease to govern to simply win the next election, and instead govern to create wealth and opportunities for 7 generations into the future.
New Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad Bissessar. Internationally, a Donald Trump-appointed federal judge has ruled that the U.S. president cannot use the Alien Enemies Act to deport Venezuelan migrants. U.S. District Judge Fernando Rodriguez says Donald Trump's usage of the wartime power was unlawful and had been improperly invoked. The law was written in 1798 to allow the removal of non-citizens in times of war or invasion. It has been used by Trump to deport Venezuelans to El Salvador on the basis they were members of the Tren de Agua gang and conducting irregular warfare. The judge says the act only applied when the U.S. was facing an armed organized attack, which it is not. This is all the time we have for news. Up next, sports.
Here's a
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports for today, May 1st, 2025. First off, we kick off with some volleyball, or spike off into some volleyball, as the Dominica will go into search of silverware as they take to the sands on Friday as the ECVA or ECVA Beach Volleyball Championships gets underway in St. Lucia. Dominica is taking part in the men and women's division. The team of Bill Frederick and Mervyn Mingo will represent Dominica in the men's division. Dominica has been grouped in Pool B with St. Vincent and St. Kitts. Dominica will play St. Kitts in their opening match on Friday at 9 a.m. The team of Jan Flora and Jaden Robinson will also represent Dominica in the men's division. They will play their first match against St. Lucia. The team of Flora and Robinson have been grouped with Grenada and St. Lucia. Meantime, Dominica's women's team will also hit the sands on Friday. The team of Jayan Pascal and Saidu Henry will take on Grenada at 2 p.m. on Friday. Dominica has been grouped with St. Lucia and Grenada. Into some women's cricket, Guyana women opened up their campaign in the regional women's T20 Blaze with a comfortable win over the Leeward Islands as that tournament got underway this morning in St. Vincent. The Leewards could only get 88 for 7 in their 20 overs batting first. Amanda Edwards got 28 and Kiana Joseph 25. Shinetta Grimond took 3 for 15 for Guyana. Guyana replied with 89 for 3 in 18.2 overs, and Reliana Grimond got 33. Guyana won by 7 wickets. Tournament continues with the Windwards taking on Jamaica at 7 p.m. Into some more sports, 6 newcomers have been named in the senior men's national football team as Dominica gets set to face Barbados in 2 international friendlies in Dominica next week. Defenders Dale Dangabin, Jalen John Vale, Philson Lockhart, midfielders Leanne Edwards and Nathan Newton, and forwards Antoine Larocque are the players making the senior squad for the first time. Dominica will play Barbados next Thursday at the DFA Technical Center and then will play Barbados again next Sunday at Windsor Park. Head coach of the team, Ellington Sabin, says he's hoping the newcomers make the most of the opportunity.
I want the players to go out there and enjoy themselves in the game, enjoy themselves in the 2 friendlies. Don't put too much pressure on themselves and play the game. Go out there and showcase the talent that they have and make a name for themselves in front of their fans and their family members and the country. I mean, whether it's a full strength team or not, we should be able to compete against any team because we possess quality both individually and collectively. So it's just about going and showcase the talent. The Dominican public have, as of late, has come to expect a lot of good results from the senior men national team. I'm going to continue along that vein and along that line.
Okay, you've had the luxury of having the Premier League up and running as well to complement the training. I think about 5 matches have been played respectively by the team. So based on what you've seen from the players in the setup on their respective clubs, how impressed are you?
Well, I'm very impressed. I mean, the league started off slowly the first week, but as the league progresses, you can see the players coming into their own and they developing that level of fitness and that level of quality you want to see at the national team level, as well as they're getting a much needed game time. And the two friendlies are international games, but in the absence of the Premier League matches, you would have to find games for them to play. But the fact that they play week in, week out, augurs well for the national team and shows that they have match fitness, especially the forwards. A lot of the players here are among the top goal scorers in the country, so that speaks a lot. That speaks volume going into the international friendlies.
This might be, the first time in a long while that we're playing without the likes of Chad Bertrand, Erskine Williams, some of the senior guys who've since retired and moved on. So in terms of the void that creates, Chad was very crucial in the midfield, and of course Erskine, the backbone of the defense. How have you adjusted to that?
Well, those are some big shoes to fill. I mean, these are quality players. I mean, and I still believe that the youthful players can fill the shoes eventually. It will not happen overnight, but with work and dedication, these gaps can be filled. That is the opportunity that presents itself for them. These spaces left void on the national team, and just somebody to step up and fill those places.
National men's football head coach Ellington Sabin. The full team reads goalkeepers Jerome Burkhardt and Dante Newton, defenders Eustace Marshall, Marcus Bridus, Dale Dangaben, Jalen Johnville, Giovanni Xavier, Philson Lockhart and Nick Anthony. Midfielders Braille Thomas, Demario Challenger, Kian Thomas, Corbin Paul, Leon Edwards, Nathan Newton, and the forwards reading Travis Joseph, Savio Anselm, Odell Laville, Rian Coffey, Antoine Larocque, Marcellus Bonney, Dante Warrington, and Javid George. Into some basketball action here, defending DABA Elias Dupuis knockout champions, the Dr. Dara Pichler Sports Club Falcons are through to the semi-finals of that competition with a crushing win over the Police as the quarter-final action got underway last night at the Massac Indoor facility. Meshach Dibule had 21 points and Karim Daniel 19 as the Falcons coasted to the 76-44 win. Josh Telemack scored 12 for the Police. Falcons captain Yannick Regis says it was a big win as the club looks to defend the title.
Tonight was a tough game. I mean, we had some rust. The team hasn't been gelling so much, but all in all, I think we came together and we pulled out the win, and that's what is most important.
You're missing a number of key players, so how satisfying was it, that you were able to win by such a comfortable margin?
I mean, a lot of our young players came out tonight and they up for the missing of the top talent, like Kiwani Awani. But people like Meshach Debule, our new recruit Karim Daniel, they came on tonight and they made a big contribution, as well as the veteran presence of the Peter Ricketts.
As defending champions, what sort of statement do you think this game was for the rest of the competition?
Well, the most important thing is to finish this game winning convincingly, and as well finish this game with no injuries. We've done that, so we can go back to the drawing board, work on our mistakes, and hopefully come ready for the next game next week.
And that was Dr. Dara Pichler's sports club captain, Yannick Regis. In the other quarterfinals match last night, the Paybush Eagles were a bit too much for the West Coast Ballers. Eagles won 68-49. Shamar Felicite had the hot hand with 20 points. D'Artagnan Latal got 14. Hassan Professor Robinson scored 16 for the West Coast Ballers. The rest of the team put up their best efforts, but just failed to connect to the bottom of the net, so bigging up the West Coast Ballers one time. Playoff action continues tonight with a big matchup between BAA Sharks and the 767 Sports Club Dominators. That games get underway at 8 p.m. Into some more cricket action here. The Trinidad and Tobago Legions will be looking to extend their lead in the points table as the CWI Emerging Players Tournament resumes on Friday. Trinidad tops the table with 24 points, having won all 3 of their matches played so far. They will battle the second-place Leeward Islands Hurricanes in a top-of-the-table clash at 7 p.m. on Friday. The Leewards are second in the points table on 14 points. Alec Athenes and the Windwards sit third on 8 points. Barbados also has 8 points. Jamaica and Guyana have 7 points each. Meantime, Guyana's Kevlon Anderson has the most runs with 106. Alec Athenes has 102 and Joshua De Silva 100 runs. Jediah Blades of the Guyana Rainforest Rangers has the most wickets with 7. Friday's other game will feature Barbados play in Jamaica at 2 p.m. Well, this brings us to the end of this evening's news and sports. A special thanks to the DBS Sports and News team and the Link personnel, DJ Haloboy.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-32